What is going on? And welcome to episode 76. Boys, we've been doing this for a long time. Jay Gray, back with us, the queen, Sip of Death. She's here. I'm excited to have her talk. We're talking NFL, NHL, college football, college basketball's kicking off tonight. I can't wait for it. Plus, Matt's in the back from Germany with his footy picks. He's an expert now. Not that he wasn't before, but he's more of an expert. He's multi-cultured. I don't know what I'm trying to say. He's back, baby. He's ready to go. He's diverse. I'm excited to dive into this thing. Let's just hit the ice. Let's go NHL first. Last week, we talked about the Canes and Panthers dominating. Since then, they've been staying dominating. Canes and Florida have only lost one game apiece, 9-1 both sets. Now, Florida did beat the Canes to give us our one loss, but one hell of a team. Both teams are still trending in the up direction. The Oilers, another team, looks really, really good. On the flip side, you get the Canadiens, Blackhawks, and Coyotes taking a fall down. Anything surprise us about this? Anything that we're looking forward to? Any team like, hey, watch out for them. They're having a slow start, but they'll bounce back.
I'm going to go ahead and say I'm a little surprised that the Coyotes are doing as bad as they are right now.
Right?
They have set themselves up to be a much better team than what they're showing us. So maybe it's just shaking off some of the dust. Maybe it's more so just learning how to play together again. But I'm a little surprised by that. The Canadiens, I can say I'm not surprised by. They got rid of a lot of key pieces this offseason. So I'm not surprised to see them start the season on a low note. But the Coyotes are a team that I'm just really kind of, wow. I expected a lot more out of you guys so far.
I did too. Them and the Blackhawks. I mean, the rosters are 20 times better than what they were last year, but the product on the ice is 20 times worse. It's head scratching for me.
Yeah, I guess one team that they were coming in hot last postseason, but the Nashville Predators, they're kind of middle of the pack. They don't really have that gritty defense. I mean, it's just started, and we all know there's a long season, but I don't know. I guess I just expected them to build a little bit more early on, and we're kind of seeing the same trend of like, they're sticking around the middle. Are they going to get hot? I don't know, but I think they're going to be another team to keep an eye on because, man, like last season when they got hot and their defense was pretty stingy, they were a good team.
Yeah, that's a good point. And like you said, this is a marathon, not a sprint. What you do in the 2 weeks does not matter. You're right. What matters here in about 3 months is the product on the ice.
Yeah, I just see a lot of playoff teams are kind of buried at the bottom here. And I think maybe that might be the biggest surprise. Like, I mean, obviously the Canadiens, we mentioned them, but the Bruins aren't really looking that strong. Islanders, Penguins, they're at the bottom. I think on the flip end, I'm surprised by the Wild. I mean, 8-3. I just know from being up in Minnesota, they've been waiting to have a playoff team for years. So an early start, that looks good. I know nothing about them, and I can't remember the last time they were in the playoffs, but I know that's a big deal.
Yeah, Minnesota loves their hockey. Like basketball, screw it. Hockey and wrestling are their winter sports, and they all in for it. And they've been waiting for the Wild to be good. And fingers crossed, they hold on to this momentum for another 3-4 months.
Yeah, you would think Minnesota would dominate like NHL, but I don't think they've ever really had I don't know. I don't know anything about them. Like if they've won the championship, they've won the cup, or if they've had playoff runs.
I think they're cupless, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other interesting thing that Fitz, you mentioned a couple of those teams, the Bruins, the Penguins, the Capitals, they're all getting older and older. And we're starting to see this young talent come in and really just change the game or almost speed up the game where it's hard for those older veterans that have been around for a while, the Bergerons, the oh my gosh, who's Crosby's, the Ovechkins, keep up with them. But Ovechkin did just score another goal, and he's up to number 4 on the list right now. So keep an eye on that. He could be reaching quite a few milestones this season.
Yeah, it's amazing. These guys are in the twilight of their career, especially Ovechkin and Crosby, but they're still breaking records. They're still amazing to watch. And yes, there's Gretzky up there, but these guys, I mean, they're making their way in the Mount Rushmore of hockey. I mean, they have been awesome to watch. I remember growing up watching them from elementary school, it seems like, to now. Like, these guys have been dominating for a long, long time. I'm excited to see the end of their career. Obviously, I'm not a big Pittsburgh fan, but it's been cool to watch them.
Yeah, I pulled up the Ovechkin list. You know, these throwbacks. Obviously, Gretzky first all time with 894 goals. Behind him, Gordie Howe, 801, and then Jaromir Jagr, 766, and Ovechkin's got 741. So I don't know. How many goals will he have this season? Like, will he pass? Like, he won't reach Gordie Howe. He can't get, like, could he get 60 more goals this year? I don't know
That's a
much
stretch.
about.
I think
Yeah,
60
hockey
is possible.
stats.
It's a long season. It's a really long season. And
Yeah.
if they make the playoffs, all those playoff goals count too.
Okay.
That's true. I guess it depends how does he stay healthy? You know, does he, like what Tim's talked about multiple times, sitting out, getting rest when you need it, so you can produce. So depending on how many games he missed just for old age and resting. That's a good point.
The Colorado Avalanche are another team. They've kind of been sputtering. I think their offense was so high key last season, and they actually have a differential of like -6 now. Like, they're letting more goals go. They're not quite as explosive. Again, way too early predictions, but I think that's another team to see if things start clicking. I know I'm going to butcher his name. Hold on, let me. Gosh, I had it a second ago.
Fulson.
Nucheshkin, Valery Nucheshkin. He's having some doping allegations pressed against him from like the Russian Hockey Federation. Just different things are happening in the program where it's like, okay, this isn't quite as explosive as it was last season, but we'll see if it picks up.
Yeah, absolutely. This isn't the NFL or college football. It takes time for it to click. It takes time for these guys to get it, especially with line changes. I mean, you got 3-4 lines. Sometimes they're mixing. They're trying to figure out who's on line one, who's on line two. It's going to take some time. And some of these guys are breaking out new goalies, and they're trying the goalies substitution we've seen in the past 2 years of subbing goalies every other day out. So it's going to take some time. Anything else hockey thing we want to talk about? Matt's shaking his head. Please, God, no. Hey, let's talk into another winter sport. It's tipping off tonight, and it's awesome to see. College basketball. Love to see these arenas pumped up with kids, just like we saw at the stadiums. Gonzaga is favored for its title, for its repeat. They're 6-1 favorites. Right behind them is Michigan, Nova, UCLA, Texas, and Purdue and UK are the next favorites at 14-1 and 16-1 throughout that list. Colin Gillespie from Nova, Drew Time from Zaga, both guys leading the Naismith watch list. Supposed to be player of the year's top returns, going to score a lot of baskets. And then some of the key marquee matchups. Tonight, we got number 9 Duke versus number 10 UK in Madison Square Garden. That's always a fun game. Two caliber programs going head-to-head. Coach K's last farewell dance, his last ride here. We'll see how he goes out. Number 4 Nova at number 2 UCLA Friday, and Saturday number 5 Texas at number 1 Zaga. A lot of good games. And I love college basketball. I don't follow it like I used to. I'm trying to get back into it. But just watching these kids, watching the students get into it, it's something special. Are you guys looking forward to anything? Anything you've got circled?
Yeah, there's a big game that you have missing up there. Also tonight, playing right now, Sparty playing Kansas.
That's right.
Huge
My apologies.
Huge game. So I'm surprised that honestly, Kansas and Duke are missing from those favorite lists for this season. I think it would be incredible, as much as I'm not a Duke person or a North Carolina person in itself. I think it would be really cool to see Coach K win one on his way out.
That would be
I think
awesome.
that'd be something that's really special for him and really special to take with him. I really, really respect him as a sport and for what respect him as a coach. And I love what he's done for the sport, bringing the attention that these students do deserve and being able to give these students an environment in which they can thrive.
Yeah, Yeah, for sure. I would love to see him. I'm a Duke guy. When I moved down to North Carolina, everybody's a UNC fan. I've said the story multiple times. I cheer for the rival, and I'm a big Duke guy.
Yeah, who's that Duke douchebag in the top right corner on that poster there?
You'd have to call shots there. Come on.
Who is that guy? I need to know who to hate this year.
That is, I'm going blank on his name. I said I haven't been following like I need to.
Yeah, well, it changes every year, so.
Yeah, the one and dones have really ruined my love for the game. I'm trying to get back into it, though. I'm trying. Well, while I look his name up, Tim, Matt, anything to add to it?
I mean, living under a rock, I didn't realize this was Coach K's last season. Like, when was this announced?
At the end of last season.
Wow.
Roy Williams retires, and he was like, "Yeah, this is my last year."
Yeah, I think this kind of ties back into what you were saying, Parker, and like the one and dones. And I know we've talked about it briefly before, but like, I hope the G League kind of finding their own fit and paying some of these athletes can, and the NIL can incentivize these players, these students staying maybe a year or two extra and developing. And I think it'll be interesting to see how that trickles into the NBA if we see these players who are more NBA ready versus the one and dones, and then you're watching them develop in the NBA, and you're like, well, what the heck? You know, they had 3 years at Duke that you could have been doing this at. You know,
Yeah. We had Johanna on, from the G League, and she talked about them trying to grow in it, which that was a really dope conversation. And unfortunately, you can see a lot of these young guys in the G League, and they think they're going straight to the league, and yet they have to mature. They have to get their fundamentals right. Yeah. That's Banchero, by the way. He's a freshman from Washington. So we'll see.
Hate him already.
Now, Matt, Andrew Price wants to know our way too early prediction of who's winning the championship this year.
Well, you've really dropped me in here, haven't you? The Zags are obviously the dead favourite. They got to the final last time out, didn't they? And they got beat by Baylor. I always ironically support UK because it, hilarious, right? But I think that you can't look past the Zags or Kansas, right?
Yeah. Solid picks. Jay?
So mine's a toss-up, but I'm going to go with one of the teams that I was kind of brainwashed by my family into enjoying. And they just, when they get in the tournament, you can't ignore them at all. They were my upset pick that I just took through my bracket last year. The upset game, UCLA ended up coming up on top in that one. So, I mean, it was a great pick for me. But I think Sparty, I love Sparty this year. I think Izzo, he's you never know what he's going to come out with. And he's either going to be really great or like just good enough to like give you hope and then disappoint in the first round. There's no in between. But last week, 2 weeks ago, I think actually, when Michigan State played Michigan, my cousin was blowing me up and I actually got to FaceTime with Tom Izzo and I fangirled really, really hard. Yeah, so I'm putting my money. He had some good things to say, so I'm going with Sparty this year.
Hell yeah!
I'm just gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna take Houston. I think Houston's been a team they've been in it every year now. Like they're pretty consistent. I think they'll work their way up and be a top seed. They could be a 1, 2, or 3 seed. But I think they had a lot of juniors and seniors last year. So I think they've got a lot of guys returning. I just remember liking their coach, and I was like, they're gonna make it one of these days. I think they'll make a run. So yeah, I'll go on a limb and take Houston.
I'm taking. Can I get a drum roll? The Bonnies. Give me Saint Bonaventure. Am I saying that right? You know, doing a little digging.
Yeah.
I like them. I like where they're coming from.
They were a 9 seed last year, weren't they?
Yeah, give me the Bonnies, man.
What do you like about them, Tim?
Really, the headband. There's some guy I saw and he was rocking a headband, and I was like, I can get behind that. If we could get some like specs, though, I want to bring back the specs to the game. So
The goggles.
the gogs, yeah, come on.
Jeez.
Tim, you like that guy, but the guy from Gonzaga didn't catch your eye at all.
The stash, the headband.
Stash
Timmy.
him.
There's a stash guy.
Yeah.
All right, hold up. I got to look this up.
He could
Gonzaga,
be
huh?
he could
Tim,
be a
just look at the screen.
Naismith. He could be your Naismith player of the year.
The middle guy.
Timmy.
Oh, dang.
Drew Time.
Man, that's a respectable stash. I'm going with the Bonnies. I'm sticking with the Bonnies. You know, it's a team that like I've literally never heard of until last year, and so I'm just like, let's just go with them.
Price will love that answer. My heart wants to say Duke. Love to see Coach K go off in the sunset. But Zaga, I think they're motivated. They've got a bad taste in the mouth. Plus, they play in a not juggernaut conference. So once they get into conference play, they can kind of rest, sit back, and focus on fundamentals and getting them ready for the tournament. So I like the Zags second close to Duke. Now, coming from college basketball, let's dive into college football for us. Got some marquee games. Purdue, man, they are the upset machine this year. They're traveling to the Horseshoe at number 12, Ohio State. Number 8, Oklahoma, traveling number 12, Baylor. Number 17, Mississippi State, going to number 13, Auburn. 14, A&M, going to 16, Ole Miss. And number 19, State, going to number 9, Wake. Wake just got upset by UNC. Are they done? Do we write them off? All types of questions we got to answer, or at least try to, especially Saturday we'll answer them. But out of these games, any college football news you want to talk about, what do we got?
Hold on. Ohio State is not number 12. What
I
are
think
they?
these are last week's rankings.
Yes, they are. I apologize. Yep. Well, the college football playoff rankings haven't came out this year or this tonight. I think they're
Okay.
about to.
Okay.
So that is 100% my fault.
Well, it's not your fault. They haven't been out yet.
Yeah, but I still think I messed up Ohio State. I think Ohio State's actually 5th.
Mhm. Well, since y'all didn't talk college playoff rankings that much last week, I'm pissed off that Cincinnati's not ranked higher.
Right?
Let them play. Let them in. Let's see what happens.
Let the boys play.
This year should be the year that they like that it's opportune. You're not going to have an ACC team in there. Okay. I still don't trust the Pac-12 at all, ever.
Nope.
And I kind of don't trust the Big Ten either, or the Big 12. The only conference that I trust is the SEC. So throw in Cincinnati. Let's see what happens. It'll be a good time. Maybe they can provide some great entertainment for some people and, give the smaller schools a little bit of a chance. I'm here for it.
They played Georgia close last year in the Peach Bowl. Like, they're not a bad team. They can play. Now, yes, they've been sleepwalking through their conference games, but I mean, can you blame them? After the rankings came out last year, like, does this really matter? It sucks. I hate it. And Fitz, I know you got a soapbox about this rankings, but I'm with you, Jay Gary. Let the boys play.
Cheetah.
I feel like I gotta represent Devin here with Wake Forest. Wow. They totally blew it to UNC, but like they're a squad, and them playing State, I think, is going to be a fun game to watch. I'm not big into college ball, but I watched a little of the State game this last weekend, and then of course I can't remember. Wake, I think, is averaging at least 36 points a game or something. Like, it's just
scoring,
nuts.
yeah.
They're scoring. So, that'll be a fun game to watch.
So Wake's schedule for the rest of this year: NC State this week, going to Death Valley, Clemson next week. Which Clemson's offense is still hit or miss. Who knows? We're going to see what happens. But that defense is going to be playing their best at home. It'll probably be a night game against Wake Forest.
Yeah, especially Wake wins this week. Clemson continues to try to learn about themselves, and they win this week. I mean, yeah.
If Wake wins this week and Clemson wins next week, it would give NC State the tiebreaker for the ACC championship.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Man, a lot on the table. Wake controls their own destiny. Do they make the playoffs? I don't know, but they can make a huge, huge bowl game if they win out. But it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a lot of these teams. I mean, Oklahoma. They've got, if Oklahoma goes undefeated, I'd be surprised. I think they could lose 2 of their next 3 games
I think they're going to lose this week.
They got Baylor, Iowa State, and then Oklahoma State. So I'd be stunned if they walk through. Again, I think they could lose 2. But then Ohio State, Purdue, the upset Kings, but then that Michigan State game I've got marked, and then they got to finish with Michigan. So I think anybody who's like me is just tired of seeing Ohio State. So there's a chance. Like, I think Michigan State is probably the best opportunity. But then even if they get through that, they got to play Michigan. This is what's upsetting for me. So Alabama, I feel like Bama hasn't really played anybody this year. I really like. I know that there's some big names. Like, they just beat LSU, but this is not the same LSU team that we've been talking about. And I feel like their biggest test was probably Texas A&M, and they lost. And they're still at the top. So I'm like, how is that fair? And, what they've got left is New Mexico State, Arkansas, and then the Iron Bowl with Auburn. So you're always going to pull for Auburn in that game. But, I'd like to see Oregon. I'd like to see Cincinnati. I just want to see some different people, like, go down Oklahoma, go down Ohio State, go down Bama, and I'd be happy.
Clemson already went down for you, so you're welcome.
He already went down for me, yeah.
I hate to burst your bubble. I don't see Ohio State losing. I think they beat Purdue. I think everybody knows about Purdue now. Michigan State, they saw what Purdue did to expose them. They capitalized, and then Harbaugh just can't beat Ohio State. He just can't do it. So I think OH gets it done. Now, Oklahoma, I think they lose 2 out of the next 3. Absolutely. Perfect scenario for Cincinnati. Mississippi State beats Auburn. Auburn turns around, beats Bama in the Iron Bowl. It brings down both rankings. Cincinnati slips in. I think that's best case scenario for Cincinnati, as long as they win out. Now, I'm saying this like an expert, but none of us have a clue.
Well, I
the
think
committee
it's
does
good.
what they want.
I think it's good Michigan State lost to Purdue, because if they were undefeated and they played Ohio State, they would have gotten smacked. It just would have been perfect setup. Like, they would have had all the cards in their pocket, and they wouldn't have got it done. So now it's like, okay, beat Ohio State and maybe we get in. So I think it's a good game. I think it's going to be one for the ages.
I think it'll be a good game too. Tim, anything to add here?
I think you guys have very insightful thoughts, and I don't think there's anything I can contribute to this.
Matt, anything for you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Michigan will bounce back against losing to Michigan State, obviously. They've got Penn State this week. Only just a ranked game. Obviously, a big team rivalry. That'll be a quite good game to watch, to chuck on after the football this Saturday to see if they bounce back.
Yeah. Franklin, Penn State's head coach. He's looking at that one like, man, I really need to win this one. If I'm trying to go to USC, if I'm trying to get another job, or if I'm trying to keep my job, whatever it is, he's got to win, or at least keep it close. Because
it is the sip of death. Penn State wins. They have Michigan at home.
There we go.
They have Michigan at home. Penn State wins. And I hate Michigan, so that's an easy one. Penn State wins.
Sip of death. Put some money on it. Jay Gray, we haven't had as many sip of deaths this season as last season, but it's okay. You're 2 for 3, I'm pretty sure, on sip of death. Let's go 4 or 3 for 4 this week. I got faith in you. Well, that brings us to NFL. We ready? Let's cue that music. Always gets copyrighted. Who cares? So just a rough week for me with the NFL and my pick'ems and bets and that type of stuff. A lot of upsets. It starts with Thursday. Indy blowing out the Jets. I thought the Jets finally found their quarterback. Nope, wrong, dead. Put him through a table. But the big one, Jags beating the Bills. What a head scratcher. And then my Bungles getting whopped. What do we say here? Any scores that sticks out?
Let's start off with the Jags winning again. Tim, how are you feeling about the bet? How's it coming on? Just ready to send that money over to me, yeah?
I'm not feeling well about this bet at all.
Yeah, you all laughed at me, didn't you?
That's fair.
But I believe, damn it. I believe.
Don't
We're
if-
winning 2 games at least.
I don't think. Well, you got to win at least 3 now.
Well, what happens if we tie?
I guess just it's split. We
Yeah,
both
it's
go
no
our own ways.
contest.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by a few scores up there. I think for starters, I was surprised that the Browns put up that many points against the Bengals. I thought that was going to be a defensive battle,
Yeah.
or at least a good game. And Browns just ran away with it. So I think that's a statement.
Starts with a pick 6 and then just went downhill for us.
Yeah, I was surprised by the Bills and the Jags being that low scoring of a game. I wasn't surprised by the Ravens Vikings going into overtime. Those teams are like they will play till the final whistle, both of them, and it comes down to the wire. And then the Titans over the Rams, without Derrick Henry. I think that was for me the biggest surprise. I thought
that's a huge one.
I thought there was really, I thought the Rams had it, and the Titans defense really stepped up. So
yeah, absolutely. Dallas also losing to Denver, which is surprising as well.
Yeah, that was another surprise.
Yeah. Any other scores that sticks out to us?
Well, I just want to jump in and say, Matt, I was on your side the entire time. One of my best friends is from Jacksonville. She went to Florida State, so she's just having a rough time. But she's the most positive person, and she loves her Jags so much. So I was Team Trevlar, Team Jags. I'm happy to see it, except I hate Urban Meyer. He can go.
It's funny. The guy said T-Law is going to have one hell of a day. Nope. Correction. Defense had a hell of a day. T-Law didn't play bad, but not the game
Josh
we all
Allen
thought he
had a hell of a day.
Exactly. Josh Allen had a cracking day.
Yeah, a cracking day.
Absolutely smokes him.
Well, Tim, since you're talking shit on Twitter or YouTube again here,
Oh,
you forgot to use your burner account.
thought I was on my burner. Sorry, guys.
Packers. J Love gets the start. Doesn't have a good start. Doesn't have a bad start. 190 plus yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. His family had to sit at the nosebleeds, the top of the stadium. Only 2 seats in the house for him. And the Chiefs get it done. They don't cover. Surprise. But they do beat the Packers without Rodgers. How do we feel about it?
Well, I'm going to just jump right in there. So, one, after the game, because I saw some eerie similarities to Brett Favre's first game when he came in from Mikowski. Just in the sense that Favre played shitty for 3 quarters. And also, we played kind of conservative with Favre because we were like, we don't want to throw it more than 7 yards down the field. And we got behind by like 2 scores. And it was like, all right, we got to start opening it up. And Favre had a great drive, gets us down the field with like 6 minutes in the fourth, scores a touchdown. And then Favre got the ball back with like a minute. And we saw the Favre magic for the first time. It was like a moment of like, oh shit, like this guy can actually just throw bullets and can throw between the safety and the corner. And it was just like, and I rewatched it this week and I was like, oh my gosh, just vintage Favre. And Love, part of it is, Favre got to go into that game without knowing he was going to play in the first place. Like he just had to put on the helmet and jump in as the backup. For Love, it's like to know you're going to go in since Wednesday. And I just think he was rattled the entire, like at least the first half. He just looked like he was nervous and it was like, oh man, just get it together. And I feel like in the second half, he started to kind of let the game come to him a little bit more. And especially on that drive in the fourth quarter, again, we're down 2 scores. We need a drive. And Love had a good drive. He made some decent throws. I'm not going to pretend like I was amazed. I think our receivers did a lot of the work, but he did get us down the field and put us in scoring position. And the way defense played the entire game, it's like one more stop and we might be able to see some Love magic. Again, I'm thinking of like Favre. I'm like, we might see Love, become a legend, like if you get the ball back. But, the reason Patrick Mahomes is giving the ball with 3-4 minutes, he's not giving it back. And And so that was, it's good to see the Chiefs finally put a game away that we're used to seeing them do. I was proud of the Packers, really the defense. I was proud of the defense and the way they played. So that's a win. But yeah, it's unfortunate just kind of the drama around all this with Aaron Rodgers and the COVID stuff. But other than that, it was a good game.
Hey, he listened to his doctor, Joe Rogan. He made the great calls for him. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I think Favre was too simple-minded. That's the best way I could figure out how to put that in my brain, to be rattled. Like, oh, we're playing football? Oh, all right.
Well, Favre was ready to sling it. And Mike Holmgren, you could just tell. It's like, all right, where are we going to call here? Halfback draw. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, not letting this guy,
Anybody else? Any other previous scores we want to talk about? Anything at all? I'm going to save the Monday night matchup for my spud to stud. But
I'll quickly add that. I think the Titans are one of the most disrespected teams in the NFL. Like, everybody keeps thinking, oh, just because Henry's out, they're gonna stink. They actually turned over one of the best defenses in their own patch, quite handsomely as well.
Yeah, that was one where they're like, oh, we're in Los Angeles, life's good. They're without Derrick Henry. They did not take them seriously at all, and it showed.
Yeah.
Disrespect. I like that word. Put some respect on the boys.
Definitely.
All right. Moving into kind of some news here. I saw this and it just dumbfounded me. The Raiders. Obviously, Henry Ruggs, we talked about him last week. What a moron. What an idiot. But then, speaking of idiots, Damon Arnett coming from Ohio State. He gets cut this week for making threats, showing guns on IG Live and other videos. But no one in that 2020 draft class is on that team except for their 4-round picks, or the 2 4th-round picks, and then Brian Edwards, who's the starting wide receiver. Might go down as one of the worst draft classes for a team. I mean, your 2 first-round picks, they're no longer there. Your 3rd-round pick, gone, dead. Put him through a table. He's traded. I mean, wow, the Raiders, that's going to be rough looking back on.
John Simpson is starting, just saying.
Is he?
Due to injury, but he's starting.
Okay. Well, due to injury, yeah, okay. Touche.
My Clemson boys are still there.
Yeah,
still there.
My apologies.
Outside Tanner Muse.
I don't know who is leading the charge for that draft class for the Raiders, but I would hope that they're not leading the draft class any longer. Those are some characters you got there. Not necessarily things you want in your locker room if you're Gruden, and then everything with Gruden happens, and then this starts unfolding, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is what a train wreck.
Yeah, and some of these guys, the 2 first-round picks, Henry Ruggs and Damon, they both had questionable backgrounds coming out of college. Now, obviously, no one saw the tragedy that would unfold for Ruggs, but there was some question marks, and especially with Damon. Ohio State almost dismissed him from the team, but Gruden, the Raiders trusted him.
And I do like what, as a leader, one positive takeaway from the Raiders is just seeing how Derek Carr has matured as a leader on that team. I don't really disagree with what he said. He's talked about how we need to be sympathetic a little bit towards Ruggs as a human and what he's going through in his brain as a human. Obviously Ruggs, there's been reports that he was inconsolable. He was sobbing. He was so upset about what happened, obviously. And that's not an excuse for anything that happened. But I think in Carr coming out and saying, hey, remember, this guy's a human too. He's going through some shit, and supporting him, just the fact that he's a human and recognizing, yeah, it's not forgivable what happened, but don't push this guy down further than he's already feeling. And I think that A, took balls to say, and B, was an appropriate thing to say as a team leader.
Yeah, I'm with you. I liked what he said. I still love the guy. I think, he needs love. He needs being surrounded. you don't excuse the mistakes at all. You still got to punish him, but you still got to be there for him as a teammate. And yeah, I think Carr's a great guy you want to build your franchise about. His playing is decent. He's a good general, but he does that locker room stuff that you really need.
Yeah, I guess follow your point, Jenny. He's impressed me because his play through all of this, his play hasn't diminished, and I think that's probably the most impressive thing I've seen out of a player this year. Is like their locker room has been tumbled several times at this point, and Derek Carr is A, being a leader, but then B, he's also leading that team on the field, and so. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen the last half of the season, but like Derek Carr, like as far as a teammate, he has an MVP vote for me. He's been dealing with a lot, that team has, but him in particular, he's put a lot of that on his shoulders too.
Yeah, I mean, what a whirlwind this season has been for him. GM's under fire, owners under fire. Gruden gets fired. Ruggs, Damon. I mean, wild year. And it's just halfway. He was like, what else can go wrong? Oh, man. Other big news. Fitz, you're going to love this. OBJ, looking for a new team, did not get claimed off waivers, which means he could double dip. No team claimed him, so Cleveland's going to pay him some of the bag. Another team can get him for cheap, still paying him some money. It's a win-win for OBJ. His number one destination. Take him up to Green Bay. He wants to be a Packer. He wants to catch balls for Rodgers. Packer fans online love this. Fitz, Matt, you're saying, please, God, no. Explain that.
I'd rather have, there's no scheme where I want Odell in. I would rather have Randall Cobb in the slot and Lazard on the outside and obviously Devontae. And that's it. There's no... It's like, okay, MVS, we got our speedster, throw him in on some packages, but I don't want him. I don't want any part of Odell in our offense.
Odell Beckham's career hasn't been the same since he took that photo of him on the boat with the New York Giants. Right. Yeah. For that reason, no way. I wanted to be a Packer as well, Odell Beckham. It ain't gonna happen, mate. I don't want to happen.
I think this is a great move. If you think about it, yeah. So you have Aaron Rodgers and you have Odell Beckham. Like, what better divas should be on the same team? Maybe they would exponentially increase each other's play, or just totally combust the team. I'm for it. I think you take the gamble, roll the dice, get Odell.
Stunned.
Jay Gray, any thoughts on it?
I just don't want New England to pick him up.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think Belichick would stand for it. But then again, we've made some questionable moves, and N'Keal Harry is always week to week. So we're missing that big guy. So it wouldn't surprise me, but I really don't want to see it. I think what New England has going right now for them is working. And I don't want to throw in a megastar, superstar diva into that mix at this time. I could see him going to the Saints.
I could see that, especially Michael Thomas being out for the rest of the season.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking.
See, Odell has to be the primary guy. I think that's where this Packers thing isn't a fit. Is if he came to the Packers, he'd have to play third, fourth fiddle. And he's not ready to step into that role. He wants the ball every play. So that's where New England, I think, would be a better fit for Odell.
I could see him in New England. I don't want to see
or New Orleans, but Green Bay, it's like, get out of here, dude. It's like there's no chance.
And he wants to go to a team that has playoff contention and can win. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm really on red alert, because New England is still one of those teams that could. Yeah. So. Please no, though. I don't want it.
This week told me a lot about OBJ. I said if the Browns come in and they suck and they stink, it's because OBJ was a good teammate. They hate to lose him. They come in fired up and whoop our ass. That's cancer. That's a bad guy in the locker room. He's cancer. I don't know. I would not touch him. Now, he's going to go to a playoff team because he gets to choose his destination pretty much. He gets to go for the low. Fitz, I know you don't like it. I see him coming to Green Bay just for a year. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, again, if he can step in like Antonio Brown did in Tampa, is understanding, okay, they've got Godwin, they've got Evans. I'm just here to be a third weapon and be a really good third weapon in this offense. And I think Antonio Brown and the Buccaneers have a good understanding of what his role is there. I don't know if we can get there with Odell Beckham. I would hope so. Like if the Packers did get him here, make him understand like what his role is. But even then, it's like we already have that. We have Randall Cobb. like Randall Cobb is perfect. And we had to get him back. And Aaron had to like vouch for him to re-sign Randall Cobb. And he's huge for us. He's such an impact.
Now
I think that's going to be huge. Like Aaron Rodgers is going to have to pull a Tom Brady with Odell Beckham if that happens. He's going to have to sit him down and say, hey, this is what's happening. You're not messing up a good thing. You need to listen to what we tell you to do. And it may involve taking a back seat. But if you want to win, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And he's not ready to take the back seat because, again, in Cleveland, that's a pound the ball. Like they're going to run the ball down your throat.
That's the AFC North.
And Odell is throwing tantrums for not getting the ball. And it's like, dude, that's not your role. Like, that's not the focus.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, it's not like he left a shitty team and he's like, I want to go to a contender. Cleveland's really good. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he's out of there, it's like, I want no part of that.
Yeah. Two teams we haven't talked about. We've talked about them, but not with OBJ. Tampa's been signing everybody. Kansas City's been signing everybody. And they have no cap space, like for the next 20 years. But they're still signing people. Him and Brady, maybe. He gets that Florida tax break. That'd be cool. He doesn't do TikToks, which means he could be a perfect fit for Mahomes in Kansas City over there. Any of those destinations work out for him.
I think Kansas City is more likely than Tampa would be. I think Tampa's already set with what they got. Tom Brady's got a good thing. He's got complete control and he's happy. And I don't think any of the general management or the coaches are going to bring in something that's going to piss off Tom Brady. Now, if Tom Brady goes and says, I want Odell, then yes, they'll bring him in. But it's going to have to be a decision by Brady or approved by Brady for it to happen. Kansas City is much more likely because I think they need a spark. Till, like you were saying last week, like Mahomes looks miserable. He still does. They need a spark. They need something that's going to re-energize the place, and Odell could be that spark.
That's true.
This kind of reminds me of like Dez Bryant and like how Dez was this at one point great receiver, and his skills just slowly started going. And I mean, it was evident with OBJ. Like, look at all the drop passes he's had where Baker's hit him square in the hands. And he's sitting, like, I'm with you, Evan. He's never going to take the back seat, just like Dez Bryant, until it was too late and he was already way out of shape and then injuries happened. Like, to me, this is just another version, like Dez Bryant 2.0. Like, he's spiraling down the toilet bowl, and he's not going to take the back seat. So I think he'll be out of the league pretty quickly, actually.
That's one hell of a comparison. I like it.
That's a great comparison, Tim.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
Hey, let's dive into our picks. Let's start with Thursday night's game. Get a good one. Ravens, which I misspelled Ravens. What the hell am I doing? Miami Dolphins.
Roughness.
Baltimore, 7.5. Favorite over at 47.5. Jay Gray, you are guest, but you're still one of us. I'll let you go first, and we'll go Matt, Tim, and Fitz.
I was just going to take it as ladies first. Ravens.
Roughness.
Yeah, I'm liking the Ravens on this one too.
Yeah, nothing good to say about Miami. Give me MVP Lamar Jackson.
Ooh, hello.
Get ready to claim it. Yeah, give me Baltimore. I think they get it done. I like that over as well. I think Miami's starting to figure out how to score a little bit. Baltimore already knows how to score. They score 100. But give me the Ravens in the over. Bills, Jets. Bills need a win bad. They got to get back in this race. The Jets, who the knows what you're going to get with New York? Like, damn. 47.5 is the over-under. Buffalo, 13-point favorite. What do we say?
I'm going Bills. I don't think the Bills lose 2 in a row. And it's a divisional game, so they're going to be refocused, I think.
Bills, but I probably will be tempted to take the point Sunday.
I'm going the Jets. I watched the first drive of Mike White. He threw a pretty pass, and then he was out the rest of the game. And I was like, wow, this kid's actually pretty good. And at last I heard, he should be back this week. So let's go Jets.
Yeah, I like Mike White too. So I think it's closer than people think.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL this season. I think of their remaining 9 games, it might be the easiest in the entire league. So I'm actually going to take the Bills to win, but just something to keep an eye on. Bills might end up going 13-3, but they could get spoiled.
They have to play New England twice still.
Yeah, they might lose one of those.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally like their worst game.
The AFC East it's a toss-up right now between those two teams. White, I was like, you know what? If he plays, obviously I thought he was going to play the entire game, lead the Jets to maybe another win. More film would have been on him. But the Bills are sitting there going, we only have 1 game and 1 play on film on this White kid. That's not enough to go by. Yeah. Don't take that out of context. Give me the Bills, but I think the Jets cover here. I think it's a close game. Browns, Pats. Talked about both these teams in depth recently. New England, 1-point favorite, 45 over under. Wow. Ooh, what do we say?
This is going to be a good one. I'm excited for it, although it won't be on TV here. Unfortunately, we'll get the Panthers syncing it up again. So there we go. Anyway, this is going to be a great game. It's going to be close. But New England's only won 1 game at home so far this season. We're going to make it 2 this week. Really excited for it. But yeah, I mean, if I weren't a Patriots fan, I would be flipping a coin for this one, but got to back my team. Ode to Devin, Pat Riots. Let's go.
There's 2 teams in good form coming into this.
What a Brit.
I know. I'm gonna go Browns.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a ground and pound in the trenches. I'm hitting the under, and I'm going the Cleveland Browns.
Man, I wish this was the Sunday night game. This is a great matchup.
Yeah.
I love Chubb. He's back from the calf injury and just had a day. Oh man, but New England's hot. They've won. I don't know about the strength of their opponents. I think that's the one concern. I think it's Cleveland, but what, Tim?
Is this college football? Are we looking at like strength of schedule now? Wait a minute.
Yeah, because who did they beat? They just beat the Panthers.
They beat the
Falcons.
It's
Chargers.
San Diego or
Jets.
wherever they play now.
Okay, so Jets, Chargers, Panthers are their 3 games they've won in a row. I don't know. I just think I think they've had bigger opponents that they faced. So I'm taking Cleveland.
This is tough for me. I was trying to flip a coin and Google wouldn't let me. Man, the Pats have been rolling. Good New England pitch out there, Matt. I know you like that word. Good pitch. But the Browns, damn, they just mollywopped us. Give me Baker and the boys. I think the Road Warriors. Patriots haven't figured out how to win at home. But, man, this is one hell of a game. I'm excited for it. Make it Monday night. Who cares? Minnesota Chargers trying to find their identity, trying to get back to the AFC juggernaut that we saw them last year. Vikings, they're figuring out identity as well. LA 2.5-point favorite. What do we say?
I have no idea. I actually really like both of these teams, and I don't have a reason why I really like both of them. They're just two teams that you're like, oh, look, they're playing. So I'm going to go with the Chargers because it looks like the Chargers at home. But I think it's going to be a game that will definitely go into overtime because the Vikings are playing. And it could end in a tie easily.
I tell you how this game's going to go. The Vikings are going to be brilliant for the first 3 quarters and then be really shit, and the Chargers will win.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers. I like that take, Matt.
I think the Vikings are the best 3-5 team in the NFL by far. I think they're better than teams that are 4-4, 4-5, or even some that are 5-4. I think that the Vikings could easily climb back and sneak into the playoffs. They're in every game. They've got talent on the offensive side and defensive side of the ball. I'm just waiting for it to come together, and I'm worried it's actually going to come this week and then next week when they play the Packers. So I'm going to take the Vikings, and I think they're going to start ending in our who's hot category in these next few weeks. So
Yeah, which I get that after our pick'ems.
Yeah, I never thought I'd say this, but Skull Vikings.
I think there's some NFC North in your bias there. Like you want the Vikings to be good, so the Packers' strength of schedule can get up, so they can make the college football playoffs.
Possibly.
Give me Air Bear. Like I can't root against the kid. I'm not putting money on. They're like the damn Lions. I'm done putting money on them. But I think Chargers can get it done. I think it's a close game. Overtime, Jay Gray. I'm here for it. I like it. But I like LA winning this one. Panthers. Cardinals. They're hot. They don't even need Kyler Murray. Screw them. Get him out of here. Colt McCoy can take the reins. They'll blow out teams. Carolina Panthers. They need somebody else than Sam Darnold. Kelsey on Dominique. He wanted to know why Sam Darnold sucks. I think it's just him. I think he's just terrible. I think he's bad.
I can tell you why Sam Darnold sucks last week because Bill Belichick has Sam Darnold by a string. He does. Like, he literally does. Sam Darnold sees or like has the spidey senses when Bill Belichick is around, and he's just like, oh crap, like it's happening. I don't know what's happening. And he just Jedi mind tricks him with his son and his stupid mullet that always looks like he's cracked out on cocaine. So that's what happens with Sam Darnold and Bill Belichick. It's just what happens. And the Jets are under the same spell too. So based on all that, Darnold needs to get benched. He really does. Great guy. Happy he's in Carolina because he won't get roasted as badly, but he needs to get benched. Give Walker a chance, but even then, Arizona is just too dominant. And it's in Arizona. So Arizona's too dominant. They're going to win.
Cardinals by 1 billion.
Yes.
Here we go.
What does the scouter say, boys? The Panthers stink. Sam Darnold stinks. Get him out of here. No, for real. Like, to Jenny's point, Sam Darnold, this is, last week he has like PTSD when it comes to Bill, and his performance is only going to get worse. So if he plays, it's going to be bad. And I'm really curious as to the Panthers' next move. So, long answer short, we're going Cardinals.
So Kyler, the injury is an ankle. And the one thing the Panthers have going for them is they've got one of the top pass rushes in the league. I don't know where they are on the sack list, but they're in the top of the league. I think it could create problems for the Cardinals to get going on offense. And I don't know if they can't get the pass going. I don't know how good James Conner and the ground game is. I know Conner's, the red zone has been where he's thrived this year, but I don't know if they can really ground and pound. Oh, man, I want to follow my gut on this. I think the Panthers are actually going to get a string of wins here in their next 5 games. I think they could win 4 of their next 5 before they just have some really challenging matchups the last 4 games. They'll probably lose their last 4, but I think they put together either 3 or 4 wins here. and I'm going to take them over Arizona. I think they pull off a stunner, and it really is just I'm making this decision on Kyler not being 100% and playing on a bummed ankle. So go Panthers.
Yeah, hell, they don't need Kyler. Colt McCoy will get this job done. Panthers defense started off great. They stink. Offense stank. Special teams stank. Done. Sam Darnold sees ghosts no matter if it's New England, Arizona, J.J. Watt, who needs him? Arizona Cardinals gets it done. I'm done with the Panthers. Done. Cowboys, Falcons, Dallas coming off an ass kicking against Denver. They're a 9-point favorite here, though. 53.5 though, over under. Jay Gray, what did it do, baby boo?
Falcons. I hate the Cowboys. Falcons.
I mean, I also hate the Cowboys, but the Cowboys surely going to have to bounce back hard in this one. Cowboys.
So, last week was the beginning. The total, absolute meltdown of McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. Just like what Matt's doing, they're just going to disappear. They're going to...
Yeah, sorry, something's disappeared on the desk.
Yep, they're going to just keep spiraling down until McCarthy gets mind crushed into the shadow realm. We're going Falcons.
There's no Starbucks double whatever in that realm either. He's going to be miserable.
I'm taking Dallas. I think Atlanta, they've pulled together some wins against some pretty bad teams.
The Saints?
It's the Saints without Jameis. Saints without Jameis, man. And you're the guy who claims Jameis is better than Josh Allen. So.
Yo, hey, I just looked it up. I look it up before every podcast. Jameis still has a better QBR than Josh Allen. So just throwing that out there.
I get to see Tim. Oh, I got 10 minutes before I hop on. Yeah, let me check this QBR.
That's the only thing I look up.
It's the only research he does.
Also, just look up. Panthers are 6th in the league in sacks right now. So called it. I'm gonna take Dallas pretty easily.
You can't say it called it. It hasn't even happened yet.
Fizz is a time traveler, I guess.
No, I'm saying I called the Panthers being a top. They had
yeah, but you do that because you read it earlier.
No, I just know them because they have a good defense. It's going off the top of the dome.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
I wouldn't lie to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't lie to
Rev, you better not, Reverend.
Honor, Scout's honor. Did I do that right?
Yeah, I don't know. Cordell Patterson, special teams player, wide receiver. Now he's a running back for Atlanta, putting up huge numbers. Like, where the hell did he come from? I thought his career was done after he left Minnesota. I can't talk. Man, he was awesome to watch. I was glad to kind of see that revivance of his career there. Give me the Cowboys, though. I think they're motivated. They're ready to beat somebody in Jerry's world. Give me Dak and the boys. I think they get it done. Atlanta keeps it close, though. I'm going to like the under there, too. Saints, we just talked about them. Titans, Tim's choking to death. Tennessee, 3-point favorite. No respect, Matt, on the boys from Tennessee. 45 over under.
I like Vrabel and the Titans. I love Vrabel, actually. So Titans all day.
Yeah, Titans all day. They're gonna knock off Jameis Winston in his crutches. He won't be dancing in the change room anymore. Titans all day long. Ain't dancing in the change room tonight.
Low key, that video is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, you need to look it up. He just tore his ACL and he's celebrating in the locker room. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to the Titans. They absolutely stomped the Rams, and I was actually really surprised that the pressure they got on the quarterback. You know, I think the Rams are one of the best overall teams, but man, the Titans just really they gave it to them. So we're going Titans.
Yeah, I'd go Titans here. Again, just they had the performance last week against the Rams without their star Derrick Henry. I think it's really high praise for that football team. So go Titans.
Yeah. Was it a one and done? Or was it?
No, I think it's for
Hey,
real.
we're motivated. We're ready to go. Saints, sorry about you. We're stone cold into the face, baby. Give me the Titans. They get it done. Let's go. We need more props. Detroit, turn this thing around, Lions. Traveling to Heinz Field, Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh, 9-point favorite, 43.5 over under. What do Yin say?
Tim, I hate the Steelers, so I'm going Lions. Yay! Kitty cats, yay!
Go ahead and do it, Matt. Just do it.
What does the scouting report say? The Lions stink. Steelers.
Oh my god.
Uno reverse.
Uno reverse card. How about that?
You know, I bleed Honolulu blue. We're going Detroit. Detroit versus everybody. Give me the Lions.
You know, I thought I'd be alone in this. I think this is a chance the Lions have to get rid of the goose egg. Pittsburgh, they couldn't put away the Bears. You know, they really had Fields on the ropes, and the Bears found a way to make it interesting. I just don't think the Steelers they don't put away teams well, and I don't think they're as good as their record. So I think this could be a trap game for them. And the Lions they're desperate. They're desperate for a win, and I think it actually happens. I'm going to take the Lions.
You're saying it's a trap for Steelers. Not so fast. It's a trap for Detroit. Detroit has hope. They're coming off a bye week. Hopefully, DC Matt Campbell is undefeated coming off the bye week in his career. Not so fast. The hope's trapped. Give me the Steelers. It pains me to say this. I just think the Steelers are learning how to win, and the Lions still need to grow a little bit. If this was in Detroit, I might have more faith, but Heinz Field, that place rocks. The weather gets to them. It's a little different. I'm pulling for your boys, though. Trust me on that. I'm pulling for your boys, Tim.
You're dead to me.
Love you, mean it.
I'm just kidding.
Chapo Bay, Washington, El Quipo, aka the team. Tampa is a 6.5-point favorite. What do we say?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. Don't need to say anything.
Tampa Bay.
I can't believe Washington is only 2-6. I think that was one of the biggest surprises. I thought they'd be better. This is the game Taylor Heineke actually came out in the playoffs in, and he played pretty well against Tampa Bay. But I think they've got the film they need on them, and I think they're going to stomp them. I think it's the Bucks.
Yeah, clean sweep. Get the cannons, load them up. Warren Sapp, you're moving out the ship. Give me the Bucks.
Clean sweep.
It's now look, Washington's going to be 3-6 now.
Exactly.
Philly, Denver, 2.5-point favorite, over under set 45. Jager, you're smiling at this one a little bit.
Philly's already booing Santa Claus. That's why I'm smiling. Philadelphia's going to win. Done deal. I love it. Eagles by 1,000,000.
If Slate was here, potentially this would be the ain't nobody give a crap about game in a week. But the Broncos are like 5-4. How's that even happening? They're not that good. I like the Eagles. Give me the Eagles. Even in a bunch of shit blokes.
What was that word?
Shit blokes.
And we're damn proud of it too.
Yeah.
Who'd the Broncos just play? They just
Dallas.
Someone. Dallas, yeah.
You know damn well.
Wasn't a great game, I guess, if it's against Dallas. Shucks. Let's go Broncos. I think they maybe threw another Halloween rager, maybe a week ago, or no, this week. Last week they threw another Halloween party. Everyone got a little blitzed. Gave Von Miller another bill. Yeah, we're going Broncos.
Yeah, I don't. Denver. I have question marks around them every week, and they exceed my expectations. So I'm going to take Denver. They're playing good football, and I don't know how, but they are. and they're relevant. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Broncos.
You know, I said the Browns played their ass off. That means OBJ was a bad teammate. Broncos played their ass off. Is Von Miller a bad teammate?
No.
I don't know. Give me Philly. Seth Wagner, Pure Spectrum. You guys go send the Denver Broncos some of that good that we like over here. Use our code PUB20, get 20% off all their amazing products. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out there, Fitz and Tim.
I'm trying to.
Use code PUB20, get 20% off all their products. They're amazing. They're based out in Denver. Lotions, oils, bath salts, things for dogs and cats. It's awesome. I love it. The boys love it. Jagger, we got to bring you some. But use our code PUB20 at 20% off. Phenomenal. Chef's kiss. They're so good. Don't forget about them.
Sorry, I thought you pulled it out a little quick.
Oh my
That's what she said. All right.
Will.
Seattle, Green Bay. Green Bay 4.5 favorite. Maybe they have a new wideout out there. 49.5 is the over under. Jay Gray, we going cheeseheads or Russell Wilson and his finger? He's back, baby.
Oh, is he back this week?
Oh,
back.
fuck.
He's back.
Oh. Well, speaking of the Packers, they just got slammed with $300,000 in fines for violating NFL, NFLPA, and COVID protocols.
Ooh.
Bad guys.
And Aaron Rodgers only has to pay $14,000 of it.
Oh,
Lots of change, right?
yeah.
Is he back this week or is he out another week? Because he has 14 days.
It's 10 days.
It's 10 days?
Mhm.
Okay.
He's back Saturday, right?
He should be back. He
Okay.
can't practice with the team, but he can play.
He's going to be playing.
Yeah.
So it's in Lambeau, correct?
Yes.
I think this is an
it
overtime
is.
game. I would love to pull my tie card out, but it's not going to happen with these two competitors. So I'm going to take Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers is on a warpath now. That he's gotten slammed this hard by the media and so on. I think he has that fuel that will light his insano warpath, as much as I hate to say that. So Green Bay.
There's no team I hate more than the Seahawks. Can't stand Pete Carroll. Russell Wilson's overrated. They're not good. Seahawks just are never a good team. They're always overrated. They don't even have a no line. Well, just have bubble wrap there. Give me the Packers all day long against the Seahawks.
I'm going Seahawks. I think I hope Russell puts Aaron in his place.
Whew. Whew.
Put him 6 feet under.
Well, again, I was impressed in the Chiefs game. I think actually both the Cardinals and the Chiefs game of just how well our defense played in those games. The defense has really come together. They've had a lot of injuries this year. We're waiting to get guys back, but the guys we have are playing phenomenal. Chris Barnes might need to be considered for the Pro Bowl. He's playing out of his mind at linebacker. So I think that's really good. And then also just the running game of Jones and Dillon. So I think we just need Rodgers back. We just need Rodgers. He's our missing piece, but we also have other guys. It's not that we need Aaron Rodgers to carry us to victory. But Matt, I'm serious. I think we've got a lot of pieces. I just don't think we need a second-year Jordan Love out there. And I have a lot of thoughts on just kind of veteran backups coming in and just getting workman's wins like Colt McCoy and Cooper Rush and Mike White. You know, these guys are all older than 26 years old. And I think there's something to be said with that. But, yeah, I think if we've got Aaron, we should be able to take care of this one. So go, Pat, go.
Yeah, this one I'm going to save for my pick'ems, the actual pick track, until I know Rodgers is playing or not. But for this show, I'm picking Green Bay. I think they get it done. That defense looked hella good against Kansas City. Russ is cooking. He's back, but it's going to take some time. I think Green Bay is going to be aiming for that finger. It's football. You got to aim for it. I wish him the best, but I think Green Bay gets it done. Breaking news, since we're breaking news over here, Jay Gray. Sam Darnold, fractured shoulder, could be out for several weeks here. So that could change things. PJ Walker coming in probably as a starter now. And in college football, Grayson McCall, the Coastal quarterback, could be out for the remainder of the season with an upper body injury. That was just announced on my Twitter feed a couple seconds ago. So
Changing my pick. Cardinals are winning.
welcome to the card side. All right. 2 more games here. Kansas City, we just talked about them. Raiders, Kansas City, 2.5-point favorite. Over on set 52. Mahomes versus Carr. Bad organization versus TikTok organization. What do we say?
I think Mahomes will start to find a step, and I think he'll start to maybe have fun again, but probably not. But I think the Chiefs will win.
I want to say the Raiders always get a result against the Chiefs. The Raiders always turn up good for the Chiefs, and I feel like that will sort of gel the absolute disjointed, club that is Raiders. Team, not club. I'm picking Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders on this. I'm with Matt.
Raiders are second in the lowest amount of points against them. Panthers are actually first, so I may flip back to Carolina, but just kidding. I'll take the Raiders. I think Derek Carr, he's been in the MVP conversation kind of jokingly for a few years, and now I feel like it's actually legitimate that we could consider Derek Carr for MVP. So I think the Raiders. It's in Vegas. Yeah, I'm taking them.
Oh, man. I saw a little life, a little juice in Mahomes when he secured the first down. He gave a little fist bump. But that was the most energy, the most juice I saw out of the man this season. Oh, man. This is tough. This divisional opponents. They're ready to gun at each other. Give me Max Crosby and the Raiders. I think they get it done somehow, some way, right? They had drama this week. They find a way to win. I don't know how much more drama you can go through to get another win, but give me the Raiders. Final game, Monday Night Football. LA Rams going against the 49ers. LA coming off a tail kicking. 49ers coming off a tail kicking. Someone's got to get back on the winning side here. Jay Gray, make that pick, girl.
It's going to be LA. They're going to get back on the winning side. Go Rams.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I think it's going to be the Rams. Both teams are going to be dying for this win, but at the end of the day, the Rams are a better and healthier side.
I'm going Rams too.
Yeah, Rams. They're that good.
We're all picking Rams, huh?
Yeah.
Give me that loofah. I'm bathing with you. Give me the Rams. They get it done, baby. Matty Stafford gets the job done. I think San Francisco needs to turn to Trey Lance sooner rather than later. I think he's learning, but by week 12, I think he needs to get the reins because Jimmy G he ain't it, G. He ain't it. All right. We got our up and down list and our spud to stud. Let's go spud to stud real quick. Any spud to stud to spud come to mind? Anybody who looked really good a couple weeks ago, now they look bad, or vice versa in any sport?
Shout out real quick just to the backup running backs, all being studs when they're asked to when their number gets called, man, they're stepping up, and whether it's committee, like we're seeing in Baltimore, or single player, like we're seeing with teams like the Giants, they're stepping up where they need to step up. So shout out to all the running backs that started the season as maybe the backup or the practice team, just stepping up, filling in this hole where they need to.
I like that.
Yes.
Stud to spud. I'm going that way around. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you said all sports. The manager of Manchester United, after a pretty good start to the season, bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo, he sort of built a team that was supposed to challenge for the league. And in the last 2 weeks, we're going to cover it in a second, but they lost to Liverpool 4-0 at Old Trafford, and they lost to Man City 2-0 at Old Trafford. and he's probably going to get sacked soon. So there we go. He's a big old spud right now.
I was gonna say stud to spud, but could you do like a spud to spud spuddier? How does that work?
So they're shit, and then he's got shittier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going OBJ. I mean, the last like you could even see the writing on the wall last season. Like after, like even before his injury, he wasn't doing a whole lot, and then Jarvis really stepped up as wide receiver 1 last season. He came back and he's dropping all these balls and he's making this big drama, and his output clearly does not match the headache that he can cause an organization, and it's only going to get worse. So, yeah, spud to spuddier.
I like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Odell Beckham as well, but I may jump in and say Andy Reid. Andy Reid is my stud to spud, just because I don't think the Chiefs they've gotten kind of stale on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think we've really seen a lot of creative looks from them. I don't know if you remember that reverse play wasn't against the Packers. It was the week before. They did like a reverse pass, and then Mahomes, it was just incomplete. It was like the most exciting play where like nothing happened, and it just didn't work. And it's just like, what are you doing, Andy Reid? Like he's not mixing it up. He's not using Tyreek Hill very well. So yeah, it's just something to keep an eye on in the Sunday night game. And I'm curious to see what Al and Chris have to say. But yeah, that's mine.
Yeah. Andy Reid has been one of those coaches where he's kind of redefined offense, and now he feels like he's plateauing a little bit. I'm with you. He's kind of losing the step. For me, it's NFL officials. Monday night's game, they take the game in their own hands, especially Tony Cornette. He hip checks Cassius Marsh for Chicago, and then throws a flag and acts like it's a 3-pointer and just holds his hand out after he threw it for about 3 or 4 seconds. Cassius, he was released from the Steelers earlier this season. He gets a major covered sack against them. Big time stop. Chicago gets the ball. They get a chance to win the game. He stares down the sideline. Ref hip checks him, throws the flag. The refs made it all about them. This season, I haven't been complaining about the refs very much, but the past 2 weeks, they have gotten worse, especially with the taunting calls. I think the refs, they went from stud to spud for me, the whole organization. Listeners, viewers, let us know what your thoughts on any spud to stud for you or vice versa. Hit us up and let us know. Now, real quick, the up and down list. I've got Titans on the way up, Baltimore on the way up, New England, Jay Gray, you loving that, on the way up. Oakland on the way down, not Oakland, Las Vegas, Bills on the way down, and my Bungles on the way down, the AFC. And the NFC, Falcons making a climb, coming out the very bottom. It was only up from there. Giants, same thing. Cardinals, they can win or without their starters. Vikings on the way down, Saints on the way down, and Panthers back on that list. What do you guys say? Did I get it wrong? Did I get it right?
So I said it a few weeks ago when I was on this show, when NFL season first started, about the NFC East and how it is a crapshoot, and it's going to come down to the last week. And Devin got really upset because I compared it to his AFC, but it's true. Both sides are a crapshoot, and it comes down to the last week. Now the AFC might be a little bit more talented, so they're a better crapshoot, like a 12-4 crapshoot. But the NFC East, it's going to be an 8-18 that comes out. It will be. I'm hopping on Tim's bandwagon. The only team that's missing is the Cowboys. They're going down still. The teams like the Giants and the Eagles are going to come up, become contenders again, and it's going to come down to that last game. It will. So I think you hit the nail on the head with the Giants, especially with the team that they have right now, a whole bunch of backups in. Still a whole lot of not connectedness going on there, but somehow they're figuring it out and they're chugging out wins. So
yeah, I'd say the only team that you're missing on that graphic, I'd say, from the AFC is the Steelers. They just somehow, I know you don't want to put them on there, Parker. I respect that. Somehow Big Ben, like, it is like, he must be so old. His body must be so stiff. It must take him at least 7 weeks for his body to get going. And he's playing quite well now, which is, weird to see. Steelers are winning games, which is remarkable because I don't know. I always rate Mike Tomlin as actually one of the best coaches in the NFL, to be fair. But yeah.
I'm with you.
The entire AFC North could make the playoffs this year.
Mm.
That's something wild to think about.
I like the Falcons they have going up. They've really clawed their way back into kind of the middle of the pack here. You know, Carolina started off hot and they're stinking, and then Falcons weren't really rolling, and now they're getting there. I think Cordell Patterson is really finding his groove, and then they're really finding that Kyle Pitts he's kind of the hype that he was coming in to the league with. He's good. I think they're trending up, and I like them. I know, Parker, you've been on the Matty Ice's melted train for quite a while. I'm still a believer. I like the Falcons.
Yeah, I still think he's melted, but they're finding ways to win. So he's slushy at this point. All right, cool. Maddie, it's time for your Footy Corner.
Yeah, perfect. As I sort of briefly alluded to it earlier, it's been a rough 2 weeks if you are a Manchester United fan. They lost 4-0 at home to Liverpool, and they lost 2-0 at home to Manchester City. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer brought together a team at Old Trafford where they should really contend for the title and contend to win trophies, but they're falling apart. If we look back at the start of the season, we were all laughing at how bad Arsenal were, that Arsenal could get relegated and so on and so forth. Arsenal are now above Manchester United, which is very peculiar. Man United travel to where is it? They travel to Watford this weekend. They travel to your Watford, Tim.
Yeah.
Could be a bit of an upset for Watford. I'm not going to bet on it though. I won't say, because Man United are a good away. But a game that we'll look forward to this weekend is Liverpool are home to Arsenal, and Arsenal are the informed team in the Premier League at the moment. As I said, after that terrible start, they're doing really well. And Liverpool lost last week for the first time this season, 3-2 to West Ham, and it should be a really good game. The game is at it's at 12 o'clock Saturday Eastern time. So make sure you're around. If you want to put a bit of that on with a bit of college football in the background, yeah, keep an eye out for that.
I like it. Anybody we're going to put our money on?
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Oh, so there's a few tasty games to put money on this weekend. Tottenham Hotspur to beat Leeds United. Spurs have just appointed a new manager called Antonio Conte. He won the league with Chelsea. He's a bit of a psychopath, but he'll bring the best out of the team. And then who else? Southampton to beat Norwich City. Norwich City are terrible. Southampton are okay. I think Liverpool going to beat Arsenal, so you should go for that. And Manchester City will definitely beat Everton.
Hey, I like it.
There we go.
All right, we got our pub parlay, and we'll do our random question. Get a little scrappy. We were real bad last week. Real bad. But we're bouncing back. We're going to make some money this week. Slate might have already killed it or started off with a bang. He's picking Jacksonville to win Sunday. That was his pub parlay. What do you guys say? Any top bets for us?
Sip of death, Penn State over Michigan. Outright.
Give it to us, baby.
I'm taking the Lions over the Steelers.
We're so doomed.
I love how this. My picks are always so safe, and they always come in. Yeah. Apart from I didn't come on last weekend. Chelsea to beat Leicester away. Good odds on Chelsea this weekend.
Love it.
I'm trying to take a safe pick.
Hey, at this point,
there's no point. We've got Lions and Penn State.
I mean, I'll take Cleveland. They gave New England 1 point. I think.
Yeah,
that's pretty easy. Cleveland's going to win that game.
Yeah, don't hate it. Man, oh man, I'm looking here. Give me the Raiders at the Chiefs. I feel good about that one. Give me the Raiders at the Chiefs. Or Raiders against the Chiefs. That's our pub parlay. Man, if we hit, we're making money. Watchers, listeners, I don't know if you put money on this one. Just let us
that
do it.
Lions pick. I like it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Tim, are you taking money line or with the points?
Fucking over the points.
Yeah, give me the over. Is that a thing?
All right, we're taking the 9 points. Hey, we're good. All right, we're good. We'll make that sub for you. Oh, crap. All right, random question time. Matt, you had a good one. I'll let you explain it.
Yes. So, after I came back from Munich, I went to a dentist, and it turns out I've got bad teeth. Now, English person, bad teeth. I realised I fulfilled a stereotype. My question to you guys is, what stereotypes do you fulfill?
I'm a ginger, and I hate the sun. I cannot go outside. I love when it's rainy, when it's snowy. I hate the sun. So I guess that's a pretty good stereotype for me.
Good.
I don't know.
I
Sure,
mean,
you guys.
I'm a pastor's kid, and I'm in seminary to be a pastor. So I think that's fulfilling the stereotype, even though I hate the term pastor's kid because it makes me feel like I'm only doing it because of my dad. It's my journey. It ain't his journey. But yeah, that's my stereotype.
Pastor's kid has got it going on. That's all I want. All right.
It's like The Godfather. You know, it's like for a while I was Michael. You know, I'm like, that's my father. That's not me. That's my family. That's not me. And now I'm taking over the family business.
I really don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm struggling too.
You're a doctor, Tim. There must be some in there.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's the first time Tim hasn't had anything to say.
I mean, I have a Dragon Ball Z scouter, and I guess people call me a nerd. I guess I'd play I don't know. I'm reaching here.
That's a hell of a reach.
It's a big reach.
I have a 3D printed Bulbasaur. I'm not sure what you want from me.
Yeah.
Just you, honey.
Oh,
I have no idea. I have no correct answer, but I do really, really quick want to give a shout out to any and all veterans and families that are watching this week. Thursday in the United States is Veterans Day. I don't know if y'all recognize that in the UK. But
yes, but
thank you to all who are serving the country and their families who are supporting them as well, because I know personally how big of a sacrifice that can be. So thank you guys so much for everything you guys are doing, and be safe out there. And again, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Jay Gray, yep. Hit the nail on the head. Thank you so much for all our veterans.
Thank you for your service.
Hey, yours is on Thursday. Ours is tomorrow. Oh, wait, no. It's Wednesday. No, it is Wednesday now. Sorry, yeah. Time difference.
So it's today for you? Or is it Thursday?
It's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Yeah. 11th for the 11th hour. 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month, isn't it?
From what war, Parker? What war?
W. 2.
1.
No, 1.
Come on.
I teach this. I should know this. Anyway.
I'm really embarrassed for you.
Hey, that's going to do it for the show. Have one hell of a weekend. Pour some up. Go Bounce Sports. Be a friend, tell a friend. Use our code PUB20. Get 20% off Superior Spectrum. All that fun stuff. Once again, thank you, veterans. Have one hell of a weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Have a wonderful time. See ya.
In a bit, go well.
So dumb.
Jenny, we got to get you something.
That's the goal.